Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good day to all students. What we are going to cover today is we are going to cover identifying topic sentence, as well as main idea. Many of you may have some understanding in regards to what we are going to cover today, and some uh, may have no idea at all what it is about in regards to topic sentence. All right, so you have completed the tasks or the exercise that I given you. I give you last week, and then one of the questions asked in the exercise is to identify the topic sentence. I have gone through some of the submissions, and quite a number of students got it right, and the vice versa as well. Quite a number of students got the question wrongly. So we are going to look at what does it mean by topic sentence. All right. So at the end of this lesson, you should be able to. Okay, I believe that you have been, but then I'm still going to cover the structure of a passage. You should be able to identify which one is topic sentence within an article or a paragraph, what is or what are the main ideas of paragraphs, as well as supporting details, relationship between a paragraph, between the relationship within a paragraph, as well as between paragraphs. But perhaps we are not going to cover the last one in this lesson. All right, so first of all, I believe that you have seen this so many times, sample of an essay. Usually, if you were to take a look at an essay, you are going to see about 4 to 5 paragraphs of essay. All right. Okay. Now, um, I believe many of you are already familiar with this, but then if you were to have this only one word, this is called as a word combination of word of including subject as well as a predicate. Combination of words is going to give you a sentence. So meaning from this here, most up until university study consists of one sentence, right? And then a combination of similar ideas in one paragraph, combination of sentences that consist of same or similar ideas is going to be called as a paragraph. So mm, meaning that from most up until high cost is one paragraph. So if I were to ask you, refer to paragraph number one, meaning that we are talking about this paragraph. If you were to refer to paragraph number four, meaning that this is the first one, second, third, fourth. This is the fourth paragraph. Okay. All right. So combination of a couple of paragraphs, usually 4 to 5, like I mentioned earlier, is going to give you an essay or an article. So this is an essay. Right. So by this point, you should be able to get the idea what does it mean by a word, a sentence, a paragraph, as well as an essay. Okay. Okay. Moving on. So now, just like we mentioned earlier, we are going to narrow down our lesson to a paragraph. We are going to dissect what does it mean by a paragraph. Okay, a group of specially or intentionally related sentences. So the idea of those sentences should be the same or similar. All right, and it is a combination of a couple of sentences. A top unit, meaning that a unit that is similarly in the aspect of thoughts, right? Sentences that revolve around a single idea and is a writer's attempt to develop an idea or a part of an idea. Sorry, right? Is called as a paragraph. Okay. In your paragraph, you have to have a statement of the idea, a statement of a main idea. All right, so these are the three things that you have to have in a paragraph. The first one is a statement of the main idea, and this is called as topic sentence. Okay, after this, you are going to see a lot of this term, topic sentence. We are going to ask you again and again, what is the topic sentence of this paragraph? What is the topic sentence of that paragraph? So you have to understand, to be able to understand what does it mean by a topic sentence. And number two, the second part of a paragraph is the elaboration of the main idea as well as supporting details, meaning that we are going to have more than one sentence for the elaboration of the main idea. Last but not least, usually we are going to have a statement of the main idea, restatement of the main idea, summary of the main idea, or as a conclusion in that particular paragraph. Okay. Okay, firstly, there are three things that you have to have if you were to write a paragraph, or if you were to encounter a good paragraph, you're going to have these three elements. The first one is the topic sentence. Second one is couple of sentences as elaboration of the main idea, as well as the supporting sentence, supporting details. Last but not least is the restatement of your topic sentence. Concluding sentence, we call it. Yeah, this one. The third one is as a concluding sentence. Right. Now we are going to look at a paragraph, a good example of a paragraph. So we have this. Usually, in a paragraph, it consists of 4 to 5 sentences. Like I mentioned earlier, we have all these three components. So this is an example of a good paragraph. Okay, now, sorry, but if you were to write a paragraph, make sure that you have an indentation at the first sentence, meaning that you put some space over here, and only after the spaces, you start writing your paragraph. Okay, this is one example of it. However, sorry, let's go through this. Okay, currently we are becoming a cashless society, a trend that began with the credit card. Now banks are offering debit cards instead of the credit cards. Debit cards allow purchases to be made by deducting money from the holder's bank account instead of being added to a monthly bill. In fact, paying bills can be done electronically and also online. People can make computer transactions via phones to pay bills by transferring money from their account to the account of whomever they owe. In other words, the technology advancement allows us to conduct most of our business without signing a check or actually seeing the money we earn and spend. Right? So if you were to if you were to read this, you will know that every and each sentences they are related to the main idea. You should be able to find a main idea uh, of this paragraph and all sentences related to the main idea. Okay, now we are going to look at a bad example of a paragraph. Okay, I live in a house in West Provo. I like the view from our house. We have lived there since November. We also have a car that I like very much. We were in an accident a few months ago. We hit a deer that was crossing the street at night. I felt sorry for the deer, but it cost a lot of money to repair the car. The car. Okay, now I'm going to consider this as a bad example of a paragraph because I couldn't find these are the reasons why I consider it as a bad paragraph. The first one, it is too short, right? The first one is too short. What I mean is that by this number of words in the sentences, right? Although it consists of more than sentences, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7. But the sentences they are quite short. right? Okay, number two is that if you were to see that, as if we were to read this, one sentence, most of them does not relate to another. Okay, right. Perhaps the first number one, sentence number one, two, and three, they are related, but then sentence number four, they are not related to sentence number one, two, and three. You could not find, there is no main idea over here. You could not find what is the main idea of this particular paragraph. Is this author talking about the house? Or is this author talking about the car? Or the uh, the author is talking about the accident. So you could not find the main idea of this paragraph. All right, so this is one example of a bad paragraph. Okay, now usually in one particular paragraph, this is what you have. Like I mentioned earlier, you have to be able to identify the main idea of that particular paragraph, right? And usually, as if you were to be able to identify the main idea, you should be able to identify the topic sentence as well, because the topic sentence is going to state the main idea, right? As well as the implied main idea in that particular paragraph. Okay, now after that, you have thoroughly read the paragraph. You should be able to get the gist of the main idea, and then try to identify the topic sentence of the paragraph, because the topic sentence is going to uh, carry. What I mean is the topic sentence has the main idea inside it, right? Okay, now usually a topic sentence is not usually always topic sentence is only one sentence. It's only one sentence, and most of the time, this time around it is usually, or most of the time is going to be at the beginning of a paragraph. Yeah, it is the first sentence of the paragraph. So if you were to look at this paragraph, obviously it is the first paragraph of the first sentence of this paragraph. The main idea of this particular paragraph is cashless society, right? Cashless and checkless society, right? Okay, now if you were to look here, there is the you could not find the topic sentence. Easy to say. Which one is the topic sentence? If you were to say that the first sentence is the topic sentence, how about sentence number four? It discusses the car, not the house. So the first sentence could not be the topic sentence. That is why this is a bad example of a paragraph. Okay. And then after that, in one particular paragraph, you're going to have a couple of other sentences that supports the main idea. Okay, what does it mean by supporting? Supporting meaning that is going to, these sentences, they are additional informations, right? Additional information that explains or defines or prove the main idea. The function of supporting details is to guide readers to a full understanding of the main idea. Okay, for example, over here, this part, this particular paragraph talks about cashless and checkless society. Okay, now the sentences after that, if you notice, they all elaborates on the topic sentence over there. It elaborates on what does it mean by a cashless as well as checkless society, and then it details on the payments, on the methods of payment transactions in order to make the payments for if you were to do such transactions, and then the benefits of this kind of transaction as well. So everything is related to the main idea. Example, It gives out facts as well as statements, right? And then, you know, at the end of your paragraph, usually we have a concluding sentence, and that is the restatement of your of your main idea. Okay, now over here, if you were to look at the last sentence, okay, now in other words, the technology advancement allows us to conduct most of our business without signing a check or actually seeing the money we earn and spend. So this one is a restatement of this, right? Your topic sentence. For the concluding sentence, you are trying to restate the main idea, but in other words, right? Use other words that describe the same idea of what you have put in as your topic sentence. Okay, now, oh, I have elaborated this. Okay. The first one, the first sentence is a topic sentence. Most of the time, your topic sentence is going to be there. Most of the time, not always. Right? And the second one is the elaboration of the main idea, supporting details. Okay, we have one, two, three, four. Four sentences. Right? For sentences as the elaboration. And last but not least is the restatement of your main idea. And this is the concluding sentence. Right? Concluding sentence in a paragraph. Right? It's not concluding paragraph, it's a concluding sentence. Right now, for this one, for this one, could you identify, try to read through this, and then try to identify which one is the topic. I'm not asking for topic sentence, I'm asking for the topic. There are many ways that concerned consumers can do to reduce hazards or noise pollution at home. They can purchase noisy products such as garbage disposals and lawnmowers with reduced noise levels. They can also use sound absorbing materials in their home. Carpeting can be installed instead of hard flooring, and cord and fabric can be used in rooms that tend to be noisy. Also, people can become less noisy themselves. They can learn to avoid shouting, to close doors without slamming them, and to play radios, TV sets, and stereos at moderate levels. So, what is the main idea of this paragraph? The answer is noise pollution. There are some cues that indicate that this is all about noise pollution. For example, over here, the methods to reduce noise pollution, right? And this and so on. There are so many cues. Okay, now we are going to move on to the placement of topic sentence. Remember that I mentioned to you just now that usually topic sentence will be the first sentence of a paragraph, right? Try to look at the exercise that you have done, whether you got it correctly or not, whether it is the first sentence or not, right? Whether the first sentence fits uh all the characteristics that I just elaborated just now, right? Okay, and if you got it correctly, then good to go. You are good, right? But if you got it wrongly, try again, right? For the next exercises. This is an example where we have the topic sentence, the first sentence as the topic sentence, right? The one in bold. It is also possible to have your topic sentence as the last sentence, right, in the paragraph, meaning that we do not have a concluding sentence. We do not make a restatement of our main idea. Right? For example, like this one, in the developing world, 1.1 billion people still lack access to safe drinking water. 2.6 billion do not have access to adequate sanitation services, and more than 1.6 million deaths each year are traced to waterborne diseases, mostly in children under 5. All too often in developing countries, water is costly or inaccessible to the poorest in society, while the wealthy have it piped into their homes. In addition, because of the infrastructure that is used to control water, whole seas are being lost, rivers are running dry, millions of people have been displaced to make room for reservoirs, groundwater aquifers are being pumped down, and disputes over water have raised tension from local to international levels. Freshwater is a limiting resource in many parts of the world and is certain to become even more as so as the 21st century unfolds. Right? So, based on this paragraph given here, we could see that the last sentence is the topic sentence. It is an example of situation of such, right? Okay, now it is also possible to have the topic sentence as the middle one, right? In the middle. For example, over here, read through this. In colonial days, huge flocks of snowy egrets inhabited the coastal wetlands and marshes of the southeastern United States in the 1800s. When fashion dictated, fancy hats adorned with feathers, egrets, and other birds were hunted for their plumage. By the late 1800s, egrets were almost extinct. In the 1886, the newly formed National Audubon Society began a press campaign to shame feather wearers and the practice. The campaign caught on and gradually attitudes changed. New laws followed. Government policies that protect animals from overharvesting are essential to keep species from the brink of extinction. Even when cultural standards change due to the efforts of individual groups such as the National Audubon Society, laws and policy measures must follow to ensure the endangered population remain protected. Since the 1800s, several important laws have been passed to protect a wide variety of species. Right? So, from based on this paragraph, the topic sentence is actually in the middle. Okay, now we also have topic sentence as the first, in the first as well as the last sentence. For example, like this one. You just try to pause this video and then read through this. Okay, you will see that actually the first one and the last one is the topic sentences. Okay, now try to go through this to identify which one is the topic sentence. The answer is the the first sentence. The answer is the first sentence because everything after that it talk about on how to reduce the noise pollution. Like we mentioned earlier, the main idea is noise pollution. Now, read through this and then try to identify which one is the answer. Which one is the topic sentence? You may pause this, like I mentioned, because this is a pre-recorded video. So we just pause, go through, and then try to it's not guess, try to identify which one is the topic sentence, and then let's see whether you have it correctly. The answer is yes. All right, it is actually in the middle. The third sentence. The first two sentences introduce the background of the physical health of neurotics. The last two sentences elaborate on the main idea by giving specific details on the relevant research. The next one. Which one is the topic sentence? Pause, 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 and try to identify. Okay, the answer is the last sentence, right? The answer is the last pets. Then can be a means of therapy for many kinds of individual. Okay, now the last, if I'm not mistaken, this is the last one. The answer is yeah, yeah. The main idea. We are talking about main idea. Okay, the main idea is there are many misconceptions about exercise that people still believe. Right? Okay, I guess that is all for today. Thank you very much. So you should be able to identify what is which one is the main idea of a paragraph, as well as which one is the topic idea. Once you could identify the main idea, you should be able to identify the topic sentence as well. And this is very important, yeah. Going forward, being able to identify the topic sentence is very important, because after this, you are going to be introduced to thesis statement, and what does it mean by thesis statement is very closely related to topic sentence as well as topic sentences. So you should be able to do that, to identify what is the topic sentence of paragraph. Okay. Okay, I guess after this, we are going to have a little bit of exercise. You should complete that. And then that is all for the second session this week. Right? Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.